Hello, I'm Chris Slight of Off-Highway Research, and in this video I'm going to present some of the findings of our new study on the global mobile crane industry. This study was produced after a 6-month research period in which we interviewed all the leading manufacturers of cranes around the world. And at 250 pages, we believe this study is the most in-depth and detailed ever produced on this industry. It covers all-terrain, rough terrain, lattice boom crawler and truck-mounted cranes, an industry which altogether we think is worth $8.4 billion per year. The range of data which we analyse in this report is extensive. It includes sales, and that's sales by type and sales by lifting capacity of cranes. We look at production by manufacturer, imports and exports out of each region, market shares, and there's also an extensive section of manufacturer profiles. And within the report there's a global overview to start with, and then we have 5 sections focusing on key regions, and they're Europe, Japan, North America, China and India. Here I've presented some historic data from the report about the size of the global mobile crane industry. You can see that currently the market's at a fairly low ebb after a very steep decline. And the story there really is the steep downturn which has happened in China over the last 4 or 5 years. If you take China out of the equation, other markets have been relatively stable from 2012 to 2015. However, this year there has been a big slump, and a lot of that is due to the downturn in demand in other emerging markets. And overall, the global industry is falling about 11% in 2016 compared to 2015. So that's the historic view. In this slide I've presented the overall findings of our forecast. Now, we at Off-Highway Research think 2016 will be the bottom of the cycle. Next year, 2017, we expect moderate growth of about 5% overall, and there's going to be improvement in most major markets of the world, we think. The main exception to that is North America, which won't find the bottom of its cycle for another year. But over the medium term, from 2017 onwards, we expect moderate growth, and we expect to see the market come back to about 20,000 units or more by 2020. Of course, our report looks at sales of cranes on a global and regional basis, and that includes sales by machine type, sales by lifting capacity and so on. But we also look at the structure of the industry from a production point of view. And here is just one illustration of that. I've shown overall crane production by region. So what you see here is the overall number of cranes which are produced in each region of the world. And this is in unit terms. And the important thing to say is that if you were to look at this in value terms, it would paint a very, very different picture. And that's because some of the more expensive cranes are produced in Europe as opposed to China, which is very much the lower cost truck-mounted cranes. So in addition to presenting this sort of information and analysing it, and presenting detailed production figures for each manufacturer we look at, we also talk about the joint ventures and the OEM supply agreements which are in place in the industry, which again is another important part of its structure and how equipment is produced and ultimately sold to the end user. So that's a brief overview of some of the findings of our report, and I think it's given you a flavour of some of the information that you can find within it. If you'd like to find out more about it, you can visit our online store, www.offhighway-store.com, where you can view a contents page, read more details about the report, and also look at sample reports. So that's very useful to understand the depth of information that we're presenting. If you'd like to know more about Off-Highway Research, please visit our main website, www.offhighway.co.uk. And there, as well as general information about who we are and what we do, you can also see industry news and sign up for our new newsletter if you wish. Thank you very much for watching.